So the last fours we had was really fun to watch, so I'm actually kind of interested here to see how it goes. Starting off on Forest Floor. I always approve of that. Forest Floor sick.
Forest Floor is a very good neutral stage for both of the characters here. It's a sort of a low stealing, but I feel like that's what both of these characters really like.
Yeah, definitely. Or at least, at the very least, Forest wants it for like upkeep or upmate. Right out the gate here, it feels like Revilo's getting a lot of mileage out of these ledge traps, just like that.
Definitely very, very clean with his confirms too.
Yeah, for sure. What was that down strong? Sometimes that move really just kind of hits.
NME answering back though. Definitely keeping up, making sure he doesn't get too much of a lead on him.
Yeah, that's really important here. Letting Rick rack up damage super fast, so comeback's never really out of the question, but same can be said for fours.
I like the idea of leaving the smoke there as bait for an up strong, but honestly, how much force burn could have got on of it if you mistimed it, you might as well have destroyed the smoke. Especially with how easy it is to punish force burn for teleporting on stage.
Yeah. Ooh, wow. Yeah, that was really well positioned. From what I understand, keeps it more consistent if you hit it from the back, particularly on opponents that are above you.
Yeah, Revilo making this up strong work for him, rather than him trying to work around it.
Yeah.
Definitely a very good trait to have as a force burn player when you make your smash attacks work for you rather than trying to work around them.
Yeah, they're definitely good moves, but they're pretty strange as far as strong attacks go. Oh no, yeah.
Poor DI on the back air there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if enemy just like maybe got crossed up or something. But,
I've been expecting a different move.
Right. Either way, pretty solid game one there. It's definitely a matchup that I enjoy watching personally, but it is not going to last. We're moving on to the Kragg counterpick here.
Enemy switching to Kragg and then taking him to Aramata.
Yeah, that's...
Giving into the ZB propaganda.
ZB propaganda, let's go. I'm all for the ZB propaganda. After Skyline.
He definitely proved it was more than just propaganda. To some degree. I definitely do like the switch to Kragg here. I think Kragg, just especially at this level, because he's a much simpler character to play, he is also very rewarding, and it is a bit of a tough matchup for Force Burn if you're not entirely familiar with how Kragg likes to operate.
Yeah, I've actually heard the opposite can be true, like especially true. I think generally as you go, Kragg kind of forces a lot of tools that Kragg doesn't like dealing with, though I don't see this matchup almost ever, so... Alright, solid down strong right there. Kragg down strong's gonna be my honestly, I have way too much trouble DIing.
Great DI on the back here right there. Went right to the corner.
Here come the nairs. Alright, good stock right there.
Revilo very clean with these back air confirms. He's definitely getting a lot of mileage out of them.
I do sometimes feel like Forz has some of the more, I guess, limited kill options in this game. As far as what's like kind of reliable to go for. So it's important that you just know how to make those two work in like a ton of different ways. And it definitely feels like Revilo has a good handle on that.
I definitely consider Force Burn. Now this comes from like experience of like a previous Force Burn main before I switched to Silt, but I always felt like back air was a good Swiss Army knife move. At low percents, it's a good combo tool if they DI in, and it's a good kill option.
Yeah, definitely. a lot of time it's gonna get attention as a kill option, but it can still kind of trap you in some really
It has a lot of good active frames, and it has a lot of good disjoint. It's a very nice move to have in the kit.
Yeah, for sure. It's just force areas in general, a lot of them.
Something we're seeing a lot here is NME throwing the rock into the air and then hitting it with the aerial down B. I wonder why he's doing that. Maybe to cover the approach options a bit better, because having it both upward and then sent diagonally downward does cover a lot of space.
Yeah. I can go. And that's just gonna kill on its own. But Revilo's pretty far behind right here. We're gonna have to play super well to make this back.
Scary thing about Kragg is he only needs one good straight hit, and all of a sudden the game's over.
Oh no, just like that.
Speaking of straight hits, that was not the one I was expecting.
Yeah, that was actually like quite the opposite of what I was expecting.
Just like
donk him on the head.
You expect like the smart, safe thing, like maybe an up air or a forward air to connect, but sometimes those like hidden third options are the things that really help work out for you.
No, the random Kragg F strong is the most powerful attack in this game. You cannot convince me otherwise.
Especially when he's at such low percent, the risk versus the reward of landing it is so in your favor.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that almost clone combo. Revilo was just doing a very good job covering all of NME's options right there. It was very nice.
Neat. Alright, here we go. This is definitely a really bold pick from Revilo. I mean, pretty much every character, in my opinion, gets amazing use out of Rockwall, but Kragg is definitely up there. So,
I'm sure some of the other bands, like before going into this, if I had to guess, I'm not even gonna try and guess what was banned here.
Yeah, honestly, Kragg bans are always a mystery to me, just because that character kind of feels like he's good on every stage, and great on like a handful of them.
And I'm trying to think, maybe he banned according to like what good forest sprint stages are, but I'm like, what are good forest sprint stages?
I know like Gates is supposed to be one of them, but I feel like a lot of good forest stages are like the really good Kragg stages. Like this is probably one of them too, to be fair. Ooh. That was an extremely bold down strong. I don't know what he was going for right there.
I've seen a lot of moves, but not a lot of hits. We call that neutral, baby.
Let's go, all in the neutral. Ooh. That was really nice.
There isn't, honestly, in my opinion, there is nothing wrong with throwing out a lot of attacks that don't have the intention of hitting, just because it just poses the threat of getting hit and might make your opponent more tentative of approaching.
Depending on the situation, yeah. If you can do it in a way where you're not going to get whiff punished.
Yeah, like the low commitment moves, I mean.
Yeah.
Maybe not your smash attacks, but like this Forest Burn forward air or Kragg neutral air. Definitely good, just threatening moves, because those moves are scary.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Especially like in this match, just the matchups in general, like Kragg Nair. If they're not ready to get hit by it, it has so many ways set up into kills.
Something I definitely notice about Revilo's play is he doesn't rely that much on smoke. Like, he'll throw it out, but he very seldomly will like take in all three of the charges. He doesn't really go for combust. He just relies on his clean confirms with back air and down air. And he occasionally uses the smoke as cover, which definitely dives into the deception aspect of Forest Burn's character. And I just find that interesting because most Forest Burns really like their smoke charges.
Right, yeah, I mean, like, if you use them properly, they're an extremely terrifying tool. But what was that?
Clone moment.
These down strongs from NME going crazy right now. But might also be going stupid.
Sometimes it's hard to tell.
There's a fine line between bravery and stupidity, as they say. I mean, like, they've already worked in the set, so I can, on some level, I can definitely see where enemies coming from here.
Worked before, let's see if it works again.
Yeah, just gotta be a little bit more careful here. Game 4 is gonna be on Jules Val. Which, I'm not really interested at the logic idea. I do feel like I see enemy pick Jules Val a decent amount, and yeah, it's a pretty good stage. But I always see it as like a kind of safer backup pick. So whenever you're just trying to like do something a little bit more comfortable right now.
Usually when I see starter stages later into the set, I usually just assume it's because the really good counter picks you wanted to go for were either DSR'd out or banned. So now you're just going for something that is just more neutral, so you don't have to play on a stage that's bad for you if nothing else is available.
Yeah, that's fair, that's fair. You can see that too.
And in Kragg's case, since there are no real like super bad stages to my knowledge, this is probably a comfort pick coming out from NME.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. It's definitely a comfortable stage for us to most play characters, so.
I was about to say we can see the movement picking up from Revilo here, but then he just gets down strong for his trouble.
That's how it goes sometimes.
Something I definitely always hate to see is when players have empty movement, which is they're moving fast and they're moving good, but it almost looks like they're not moving with purpose because sometimes they just get called out with something really punishing, or they don't really get to capitalize that much off of their good movement.
Yeah, it's definitely a habit that I think can be really easy to fall into sometimes, where you're like kind of feeling good about your movement and like you feel like it's clean to the point where you just don't really think about the meaning behind it, and you just like get hit or don't get any hits from it. Ooh. There it is, pulling in on the down tilt again. Oh, alright.
Kind of a... Alright, I think I have an idea. I was gonna say, it's kind of a bold move to destroy the clone with a down strong, but then I realized, wait a second. Hitbox extension. Maybe he would downstrong the clone, hoping that he would fall into the extended hitbox. Which honestly, if that worked, I would have called that a genius move, even if it was on accident.
Yeah, same. You do see it from time to time. I honestly feel like I see it almost every Rivals Retest stream, just with like different objects. They always feel terrible to get hit by, but... This is, yeah, that is not going to be a Kragg weight coming in clutch right here, but this is still a really, oh no. Yeah.
And the poor DI.
Yeah, this down tilt's really